What's going on, TapXNation? My name is TapX Retro, bringing you guys another video today. What you guys are watching here is a crazy world's first gameplay here. This is the world's first nuclear here on Empire playing solo by the one and only TapX Gameplays. Definitely check out his channel, link down below in the description. He's actually using the CUDA in this gameplay. Now, of course, as you guys can see here, he is playing solo, which makes it increasingly difficult to actually end up getting a gameplay, especially a world's first like this, because it takes a lot of patience, a lot of dedication, and especially in a very competitive YouTube scene, trying to get a world's first gameplay while playing solo, very difficult, because it really does kind of boil down to luck and how much patience you're really going to put in to actually finding a good enough lobby where you could actually get a gameplay like this. So it's definitely something very impressive. Hopefully you guys will enjoy that in the background. Now I want to discuss a few things here today about Infinite Warfare. Now for those of you guys who don't know, this has actually kind of stayed under the radar. I know a few people in TapX have actually made videos about this. Tomorrow, or by the time you guys are watching this, probably later today, you guys will actually be seeing a live stream. I'm not sure exactly where it's going to be, probably on Twitch or something. Call of Duty will be showcasing some of the Infinite Warfare weapon information, and I believe also some of the information about the ships, the spaceships in the campaign and stuff. I'm not exactly sure, but we should be seeing some info actually about Infinite Warfare coming out a little bit later here. And I just kind of want to go into, I guess, my thoughts on, I guess, the general overview of the perks, the guns, the maps, and pretty much, at least my opinion, a good way to kind of build up the game to keep it in a good balance. So if you guys do enjoy the commentary, feel free to check out my channel, link down below. I actually have a series over there called Building Infinite Warfare where I go into all this stuff in depth, but today I'm going to go into a little bit of a summary on pretty much my whole, I guess, idea of a good way to balance out the entire game. So starting off here, we're going to look at perks. Now, of course, as you guys may know, Call of Duty Ghosts, Infinite Warfare, I mean, all these Call of Duty games that are coming out, they're obviously going to change up stuff, especially Infinity Ward, as you guys know, because when looking at their games, MW2, MW3, COD Ghosts, and upcoming here, IW, they're all radically different in their design, they're all radically different in pretty much every way, and especially when looking at Treyarch games, they're very different as well. Now, my favorite game, I know this is actually going to be very kind of the underdog opinion here, but my favorite game when it came to perk balance was actually Call of Duty Ghosts. I know, kill me for it, I know. But in my opinion, Call of Duty Ghosts had such a nice system where you could equip pretty much any perk setup you really wanted to. You had a certain amount of points you could use. You could put on any gun, any attachments, any perks. You had the lethals, the tacticals. I thought it was a very nice balance, and if you really wanted to cater to a certain playstyle, you could build your class around it. Now, unfortunately, my problem with Black Ops 2 is the pick 10 setup, although it was great, you would still have a lot of issues actually making a good class. I loved using the AN94 with fast mag in stock. However, the problem is if I want to run C4 on that class, I have to run hardline, toughness, scavenger, dexterity only. I cannot throw on flak jacket. Again, it's a problem, and with a pick 10 setup, there's just not enough freedom to really work with what you want. So I thought Call of Duty Ghosts was actually perfect in that regard for the perk balance, and I would actually love to see that return in Infinite Warfare. Now, moving on to the weapons, I think honestly, more than anything, having a set of memorable weapons is absolutely key. Now, in terms of the worst example, I think actually Advanced Warfare showcased the worst example of this. Honestly, man, I do not remember more than 5 guns in that game. All I remember is the ASM-1 and the Bal-27 being ridiculously OP. That's about all I remember from Advanced Warfare. I'm just being honest. The guns were very forgettable, especially considering you had 2 of them that absolutely dominated the game, but most of them were just very forgettable. They really weren't that good, they really weren't that effective, and if you ever wanted to go for a good gameplay, you really didn't have many options. Where going back, looking at a game like, let's say, Modern Warfare 3 or Black Ops 2, you could use pretty much any assault rifle, any SMG, and most of them were decent enough. Most of them worked very well, they were very memorable, they kind of stuck in your brain, and you could actually kind of work with them. Where in Advanced Warfare, I just didn't feel that. So in terms of the weapons, there's no manual that you can really go off of. All I could say is go off a, I guess, guide to keep these weapons memorable that people will remember in the future games to come. They could go back and go, man, you know, I loved this gun from Infinite Warfare. I would love to see this return as a DLC. Something along those lines would be nice, and for those of you guys who are playing Black Ops 3, you'll know they brought back the MP40 and the FAMAS because they are memorable, fantastic guns. That's exactly why, and that's something I would like to see as well. Now, of course, as you guys know, maps, they need to be small. Simple as that. I know this might sound like a cliche here, people have been saying that for years, but look at the mistakes that have been made. Every good Black Ops 3 map, or at least most of them, is small. Hunted is about the only big map in Black Ops 3, maybe Stronghold you can consider large. Those are the only maps that I actually like in BO3 that are actually a big size. The best ones are Nuketown and Combine, because they're small, they're action-packed, and even though you might be in a futuristic game, you still want a smaller map where you could keep the spawns locked down. That's a much better strategy, and I know TapX, of course, who's coming out with crazy gameplays here, that would be nice to have a few smaller maps where spawn trapping is easier to do. Things like that, where actually versing an enemy team, if you're good enough, you could easily trap them in their spawn. My complaint about some of the bigger maps is they will spawn all over the place, come and shoot you in the back, even though you might not deserve that death whatsoever. You might be spawn trapping them very well, you might have a full team, someone could spawn in some random ass spot and still come around and kill you. I found that to be a problem as well, but those are I guess the three categories I would go into. You go into of course the perks, the weapons, and the maps. Figured that I would go into that today, of course a longer commentary, so I figured I would get into that. Hopefully you guys have enjoyed. If you guys did enjoy, definitely go check out the guy who provided the gameplay down below in the description, of course, and the guy who provided the commentary, myself, link down below as well. Thanks for watching, everybody, and yeah, catch you guys all on the next one.